So for many of you watching this video, it's going to be the off season, it's going to be the winter as it is here in the UK. And it's a great time to make some positive changes to your technique, ready for the 2019 season. So this is a brand new video series, 5 videos looking at some of the common mistakes that I see golfers making when they're trying to make these swing changes. This first video is looking at how we shift pressure or how we shift weight, looking at a lateral move in the downswing, and I'm going to show you something I see golfers unfortunately doing incorrect, but more importantly, we're going to show you the correct way to shift pressure in your downswing. So welcome back to the Forest of Arden, and welcome back to this video series, which is going to be 5 videos looking at some of the common mistakes I see happening when golfers are trying to make changes to their golf swing. Now, if you're new to my channel, I would love you to subscribe. There's videos coming each and every week because I really believe that together we can make this one of the best golfing years of your life, play the best golf, and that's going to help you enjoy your time on the course a little bit more. So before we get started, just place a comment in the box down below and let me know if you are working your golf swing, if you're trying to make some changes, and then what those changes are. Because it's really going to help me to get an idea about what you're trying to do in your golf swing, because that's going to help me produce content which is directly going to help you play some better golf. So the purposes of this video series, day to day I still coach full time, and I get lots of golfers coming to me with a decent understanding about their golf swing and maybe a good understanding about what they need to do to get better. But unfortunately, sometimes the processes they go through or the concepts are incorrect, and that kind of sends them down the road that we don't want them to go down. And we're going to cover some of those in this video series, some of the common things that you might be changing in your golf swing, and some of the things that we want to make sure you don't fall into, or some of the common mistakes I see. So in this video, we're talking very much about the initial start in the downswing, and almost a kind of little bit of a bump of the hips or a shift of the weight onto the lead side, something which a lot of golfers are trying to do, believing that's going to help them strike the ball better, compress the ball, all those things that we would like to do that we see the best golfers in the world doing. Unfortunately, as always in this video series, there's going to be something that we see golfers doing wrong. So to explain that, let's go through a very simple drill. So all I've got here is I've got an alignment stick and I've got a bungee cord, and I've got that alignment stick obviously to represent my hips. Now we're using this to represent the hips in terms of their level. So is my lead hip lower? Is my trail hip lower? And we're looking at how that changes through the golf swing. So let me take my starting position, and I'm just going to get myself set up. I'm just going to make a backswing and stop. Now, if your backswing is pretty good, and I'm sure it's perfect, your lead hip at the top of your golf swing will be lower than your trail hip, as you can see here. Now, when I see golfers trying to kind of make this lateral move to the target, I very often see this as their rehearsal. And what you can see has happened there is my lead hip has very quickly got higher than my trail hip. What that really did is it caused me to kind of separate my lead hip from my left shoulder too early. It often causes the upper body to go back, and very often we can actually see the pressure shifting to this trail side. So very, very common for me to see a golfer rehearsing a bump forward of the hips in this kind of fashion here, where you can see the lead hip very, very high. So what do we tend to see happening from the best golfers? Well, what we tend to see is the weight or the pressure will shift to that lead side, but the lead hip will stay lower for a considerable amount of time, reference to what we've just seen. Let's just go and show you what that would look like. So as I go to the top, lead hip is lower. Now as I shift and I bump to my lead side, notice how as I do that, the lead hip stays much lower than the trail hip. Now at some point in that downswing, the hips will get level, and at impact that lead hip will be higher. When those things happen, I don't really want you to be too concerned with. It's more a case of trying to understand how we shift pressure to the lead side. The terminology that I would get you to kind of think about here, and this is kind of more words, but words can certainly make you think a little differently, is I want you from the top to feel a little bit more like you're falling onto your lead side as opposed to pushing the hips forwards and up. So hopefully as I do those 2 little demonstrations, you can see the difference between this, which would be shifting pressure correctly, and this one, which would be the hips going kind of up, really causing me to tip back, and from there I'm going to release the club probably early, probably hit the ground a little bit early, probably going to flight the ball pretty high, and really not achieve what we're actually trying to do in this video. So as a general rule, would golfers benefit from shifting pressure better in the downswing? Absolutely. But if we go through this and head to the driving range, the practice area, and we do the wrong thing, we have the wrong concepts, you're not going to progress your game. You're actually going to add some more faults in, and then you're going to be searching on YouTube for fixes to those faults, and you're just going to get further away from where you're ultimately trying to get to. So you can hit balls doing that as a little drill. So you take your setup up to the top, fall onto the left side a couple of times, feel that left hip stays lower, and then just go ahead and swing through. Pressure shifted onto the lead side. You'll see when you watch that back, my weight finished on that lead side. The left hip stayed lower early in that downswing, and that's exactly what we need to trigger that downswing sequence correctly and enable you to hit the ball with the impact factors that you need. So there is our first swing fault that I see golfers working on, and unfortunately they sometimes get that a little bit wrong. Hopefully this video has cleared up a lot of those ideas and those myths. It's going to leave you in a better place. If you are working on a little bit of a lateral shift or a pressure shift, this little exercise is a great way to get some good feels, some good ideas. Definitely going to help you down at impact with that strike. So thank you very much for watching video number 1. We have got 4 more videos in this series to come, all looking at different swing faults that you might be trying to work on and making sure that you're doing it in the correct way, as opposed to maybe going down a route that we don't want to. And unfortunately going to help you play some worse golf. So stay tuned for the rest of the videos. Comment below, give it a like if you did like the video, and also if you aren't a subscriber, there is a link in the description box down below, and also click my button over here that will allow you to do the same thing. Thank you for watching. We'll see you back here again soon.